ICE and has been following this story, of course, very closely. Mr. Homan, thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So please assess, as an expert, Kirsten Gillibrand's demand that we not put people awaiting asylum hearings in custody.
It's ludicrous. I mean, she obviously didn't do her homework. She didn't study the data. And she certainly didn't study the history of illegal immigration. Look, the reason the family units and the children are coming right now at record numbers, unprecedented numbers, is because they know we can't detain them all. Right. Because of the Ninth Circuit decision, you go home in 20 days. So that's why the numbers have skyrocketed. So her answer to that is detain less. That's going to cause a surge like you never believe. You think the numbers are bad now? That's what the problem is when politicians like her say things like we don't want to detain anybody, and she supports sanctuary cities. She wants to abolish ICE. When you have the open border attitude, more people are enticed to come into this country illegally. They're more enticed to put themselves in the hands of criminal organizations and come to this country. That's why they're coming. 93% of every person that ICE removed last year was removed from a detention bed. When you get released, chances are you will never be removed. Last year, 47,000 people got orders to remove in absentia, which means they didn't show up in court. Right now, we're on the path to have over 70,000 in absentia this year. If you look at the people on the border claiming asylum, 49%, almost half, never follow up with immigration court. There was an article this week in the paper. 86% of families do show up. 86% of half. But the question is not how many show up in court, how many abide by the order of the federal judge? 2%. So the 200,000 family units,
that doesn't make sense, because I just heard Gillibrand say that she trusts people who've already flouted our laws to show up once they're given a taxpayer-funded lawyer. But you're saying only 2%.
No, look, she's just not that smart, or she's not doing her homework.
She doesn't care.
You know what? And with people like that who push that message out, that entice more people to come with the open borders policy. We just had another child die in custody today, right? This isn't just about enforcing law. This is about language she uses and things she says and other Democrats that entice people to put themselves in the hands of criminal organizations. So if they want to blame, who's to blame for this child dying in custody today? They need to look in the mirror. Because when you start preaching open borders, we won't detain you, that's when more people come. And that's when we're going to lose the border for all.
Why don't we just demand that people apply for asylum in one of our embassies or consulates in virtually every country in the world?
We absolutely should do that. And what Kirsten Gillibrand don't understand is in FY14, when the family units first started coming, I built a family detention center in Artesia, New Mexico. We held the families long enough to see a judge. It took about 40, 45 days. 90% of them lost their case, 9 out of 10. We filled a couple airplanes full of them and sent them south. Guess what happened? The numbers on the border declined significantly. But when the Ninth Circuit says, well, you can only hold them half as much time as it takes to see a judge, the numbers come up. If these people are really escaping fear and persecution, why would they not want to be detained in a family residential center long enough to see a judge and make their claim?
Because it's a scam, as you know. And as Kirsten Gillibrand knows, but she doesn't care. Tom Homan, thank you very much. Great.